If you've played enough games on the 9x9 and the 13x13, but you're a little scared of how to start on the 19x19 board, this video is for you. A lot of players I know, they kind of stay a long time on the 9x9 board because they just don't feel like they know what to do on the 19x19. It can be quite intimidating. There's so many points. So if you understand kind of how stones interact with each other in close combat and how they fight, but you don't know what you're supposed to do on this 19x19 board and you just get into a game, you may start playing like this and you have no idea what's going on and it takes forever for even something small to happen. So that's not the way to play. There are plenty of videos out there that have a lot of opening theory on what you're actually supposed to do in a very good step-by-step manner. In the 19x19 board. This video is going to be a little bit different from that. I want to maybe try to illustrate the mentality and what you're supposed to be, how your brain is supposed to be thinking when you're playing this board. You should know at least that the corners are a good place to start. This is the essential principle that you should start with, and there are many videos explaining it. And if you come across an opponent that doesn't listen and they don't play the corners, just doesn't matter, just ignore them and play the corners anyway. They are the biggest moves in the game. So let's figure out what to do after we take the corners. The big tip I want to give you here is the third and fourth line. Now if you don't know already, the Go board, when we talk about lines on the Go board, we call the very outermost line the first line, and then the second outermost line the second line, right? So the tengen, the center of the board, being like kind of the highest point on the board, and then the edges being the lowest points on the board. So when you're playing in the opening, pay attention to the third and fourth lines and grab kind of those spots on the board. This is a very sweet spot for the Go board, and in terms of territory and influence, which you'll, I'm sure, learn more about later. But for now, just know that when you're playing, these lines are the ones to take. And so you can see you're kind of dropping these soldiers down, or these seeds, trying to take as much board space as possible. Because if you have someone going like this, and black is playing like this, and white is playing like this, like white is drawing a little tiny corner for their stones, and what black is taking the rest of the board. So this is not how you want to play as white. You want to be playing like black is playing here. So let's say both players kind of understand that, and they're both going like this, they're going like this, and white is going, you know what? I don't like what black is insinuating here. Black is trying to take this entire top section of the board. I don't like that, and I'm going to go invade. This is kind of a good way to think as white. You don't want really your opponent to get most of the board, and you don't want to like just continue playing on this side submissively while your opponent takes this entire top half. You want to be proactive and plop a seed down. And so you're going to notice things happening. And black can maybe like try to take more points, or black can choose to say, hey, buddy, you're in my territory. You're in my war zone. I'm not going to let you get away with this. I'm going to go ahead and tell you to step back. And white might be like, whoa, okay, sorry there, friend. I'm just going to, go back to being submissive and take my own territory. And you can kind of take that prisoner captive. Or white can say, you know what? I don't like how you're approaching me here. I'm going to put some more troops down. Oops, it's the wrong stone. I'm going to put some more troops down on the ground here. And then now you got black going, now white is taking some of my area. What if I go and take some of white's area? And so this whole game of, this territorial tension is happening. And all of a sudden, something even crazier happens where two stones maybe meet, right? Black says, oh, I don't want to go here. I want to maybe do something even more aggressive. And then a fight breaks out. And then I'm sure if you've played enough 9x9, you know kind of how these go. Once you get into this kind of combat, I think you'll be able to tell, you know, a little bit more about what you're supposed to do. And this beginning part is really about the tension between the strength and weakness of stones. If, as black here, I kind of just say, okay, cool, I put my little you know, duo here down here, and I'm just going to go and start attacking this group. White might say, I think this position is fortified enough. I'm going to actually go ahead and try to make your troops weaker. And now black has something they got to take care of. Black says, oh, okay, I can't sacrifice these guys, so I'm going to have to run out. And so this is how the game is played. I hope this kind of illustrates a little bit better what you're supposed to be doing. Just stick to this third and fourth line rule at the beginning of the game when you're just plopping down stones randomly. A lot of players I see, especially in the beginner stage, is they play way out here like this, right? And they play a little too high. The problem, like, this may look very pretty, right? If I'm playing like this as black, and black is like, ooh, look at this giant space. The problem is you're leaving too much space underneath to be undercut. White can easily come here and invade this territory. I mean, there's probably a better invasion point, but this is too much space. That's why I'm talking about the third and fourth line as a sweet spot of territory taken. So if I'm playing as black here, it's harder for white to try to scoop out anything from underneath. It's a very defensive position. Here, it's good as well, but I would just give the general advice. Third and fourth lines are the way to go. And then when you start getting pressured, let's say something like, whoops, my bad. Let's say something like this happens. When you start getting pressure, let's say black plays somewhere else and white pincers this stone. Then you don't really have third and fourth lines to go to without really getting into a scuffle. So black can now think of higher moves to run away, if you will. Like, this is kind of like the sky, and you want to try to fly up and see if you can get more space so you can get more room to breathe. Okay, hopefully that was helpful to some of you. I just don't think a lot of people explain Go in this kind of manner. I think maybe it helps certain people to grasp more of a feeling of what you're supposed to be doing. I know there's a lot, again, there are a lot of videos out there teaching exactly what you should be doing in the opening, taking enclosures, right? This is a very, you know, common, this is like what an actual game may look like. Oh, I played this a little too fast. Yeah, so this kind of thing, right? This is Joseki, and you can get into that as much as you want to, but if you just want to get into the game, hopefully this helps a little bit and inspires at least some of you to try out the 19 by 19. And that's all for now. Thanks.